class is going to be relatively slow. And the reason for that is, one, sometimes moving slowly through a yoga class and having a more slow practice is really nice. And two, where I am right now in London, and at this time, mid-June, it's really warm. So by moving, we're already really warm, so we don't need to warm up that much. And also the heat can have an impact on how we feel. Maybe we're feeling a bit dizzy. So it's actually quite important to sometimes take our surroundings, our environment into account when we move. We don't need to push ourselves too much today. It is hot, or at least it is today at this time when I'm recording this. Props wise, you will need a block later. We're going to do a supported bridge. I'm not at home today, so I don't have a block, but a really nice thick book works just as well. And you maybe also want a belt. I'm using the belt of a bathrobe, so really you can do yoga with almost any type of props. You could also use obviously a yoga belt, a towel, an old t-shirt, anything like that. If you're practicing this when it's hot as well, and at any other time, please be really mindful of how you feel, how you move your body, and do not push yourself too much. If there's any time when you're not feeling great, if you're feeling dizzy, if you're feeling a bit woozy, a bit lightheaded, come into a child's pose and just be really mindful. Okay, I hope you have fun and I hope to see you soon. So we're going to start in child's pose. For child's pose, you can have your knees slightly apart, maybe hip width apart if you want. We're going to come down, bring our belly on our thighs. Toes, the big toes can touch. I quite like that little connection that you get that way. And if you wanted, you could get that block that you use, place that under your forehead so that you don't sink down too deeply. That can take a little bit of that intensity maybe out. Or you can just place your forehead on the mat, nose on the mat. Hands out in front of you so that we're a bit active here. And let's breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. If at the beginning of the class you want to take a nice deep inhale through the nose and then maybe sigh out through the mouth on the exhale, that is fine. So inhaling and sighing on the exhale. You can take 1 or 2 or 3 or however many breaths like that you want. But throughout our practice, we're going to try to breathe in and out through the nose. And as we move through the practice, if at any point, if it's warm where you are, you feel a bit dizzy or a bit lightheaded, just stop, stand or sit or come to child's pose. Maybe now coming through inhale and exhale through the nose if you've been breathing, exhaling through your mouth so far. Feeling how on the inhale your abdomen expands, pressing against your thighs. Exhale, belly button moves through the spine. You sink a bit deeper. Inhale, your ribs lift, your chest might press a bit more into your thighs. Exhale, your ribs move together, you sink. Inhale, your collarbones lift, your shoulders and your upper back lift. Exhale, our shoulders sink. Breathing like that a few more times. Maybe noticing now the full movement in this breath. How the abdomen expands, the ribs move apart, and the shoulders lift. And exhale, your shoulders, your chest drops, ribs move together, belly moves in. Breathing here few breaths. Slowly become a bit more aware again, arrive back. On the next inhale, let's pull our hands under our shoulders. Breathe in here, have one breath here, exhale. Inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, let's push into our hands. Gently come to kneeling. And we're going to come to a tabletop. So we're going to place our hands under our shoulders. Wrists, elbows and shoulders are stacked on top of each other. Our knees are hip width apart. Toes are pointing back. We're going to do a few cat-cow. So as we inhale, we're arching our spine. We're looking to the ceiling for our cow. Exhale, we're pushing the ground away with our hands, sucking our belly and chin to chest, looking to the belly button for our cat. Inhale. In our cow, we're really arching our back, maybe bringing our shoulder blades together here and maybe bending our elbows a little bit. Exhale, we're rounding our back, pushing through the hands, fingers nice and wide, chin to chest, and shoulder blades are pulling apart. Inhale, coming back into our cow. Imagine this baby elephant sitting on your back, really arching the back like crazy. Exhale, we're pushing the ground away. Imagine there is a flame under your belly and you're sucking your belly in so it doesn't touch those flames. One more either way. Inhale in our cow, looking up. Exhale into our cat. And at the end of that exhale, let's come to a neutral spine. Going to do a little shoulder stretch here, and we're going to inhale. I'm going to raise my left arm here. You can start with the right if you want, just for you to see it better. And exhale, threading that left arm in between my right arm and right leg, bringing my left shoulder on the mat, left cheek on the mat. If you want, you can stay here. The palm of your left hand is facing the ceiling. If you wanted, you could also stretch your right arm out in front of you and maybe try to bring that right forearm in contact with the mat, maybe at the right elbow. By doing that, you're activating the stretch also in your right shoulder. So we're stretching our right shoulder differently to the left. And we're staying here for one breath. Inhale. Exhale. Actually, let's stay a little bit longer. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. With the next inhale, if you stretched your right arm out in front of you, bring your right hand in front of your face. Exhale here. With the next inhale, we're pushing into that right hand, bringing the left arm up again for me, and exhale, left hand down. Going to do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, I'm bringing my right arm up. You could do the left if you wanted. Exhale, I'm threading that right arm between the left arm and the left leg, bringing my right cheek and right shoulder onto the mat. Right palm is up facing the ceiling. Now you can either stay here, or if you wanted, you would stretch your left arm out in front of you. Maybe trying to bring that forearm, even the elbow, sort of the side of the elbow in contact with the ground. Stretching our shoulders here. And breathing in and out. So one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. If you stretched your left arm out in front of you, bring it in front of your face. On the inhale, exhale here. Inhale, we're pushing into that left hand or the right hand. We're coming up, placing that right hand back onto this floor. We're back in our tabletop. And now we're going to do sort of variation on our cat-cow. Rather than doing the standard up and down, I want you to bring your hips and your shoulders in. You can just move however you want. So for example, you could push your left hip to the side and your left shoulders, right shoulder forward, so that you're sort of moving diagonally. Just to bring some movement here into your body, rounding your back, maybe making circles with your hips. Just move however feels good to your body. You can maybe come a little bit forward, a little bit back, and like sort of a semi-up dog and semi-child's pose. And whilst you're doing that, you can also swing through that. Just have fun with it. There's no right or wrong here. The only thing that wouldn't be ideal if you felt any pain, let's say in a hip joint, then don't do that movement again. Just playing around with it, waking up our body, moving as fast or as slow as well as you like. Let's do that for another moment. And at the end of the next exhale, let's come to stillness, to tabletop. Lovely. Hope that was fun. Quite a nice way to just bring movement to the whole body, be a bit playful here. And now let's tuck our toes and lift our knees off the floor and gently push into a downward dog. If you don't like downward dogs today as we move through our Sun Salutations, you can just come into a tabletop, or you could push your hands a bit forward, knees down for sort of a knees down, down dog variation if you want to look at me here. So still a nice straight back, but your just hands are on the floor and your knees are on the floor. Just in case that you're finding down dog in the heat a bit difficult as it makes you lightheaded. If you want, you can walk your feet here, bending one knee, trying to bring the heel of that straight leg down to the ground, bending the other knee, waking up our calves. Just gently, gently moving here. You can also bring your hips in here, that when you push your foot, the heel onto the ground, bring the hip towards, bending in a little bit, so that the hip of that bent knee is coming in a bit. Just again, moving your body a bit more. Very nice. Okay, let's come to stillness. Pushing through our hands, fingers are nice and wide, hands are shoulder width apart, middle finger pointing forward. Arms are straight, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades slightly pulling apart. Nice flat back. If that means you have to bend your knees, that is totally fine. Feet are hip width apart, toes pointing forward, feet parallel, and you're looking towards the space between your big toes. And even if your heels don't touch the ground, which is no problem at all, you still want to imagine that you're pulling your heels towards the ground to activate those calves. One breath here for us to notice how we've set ourselves up. Okay, now let's gently, gently walk forward with our feet behind our hands. Hanging here for one. And now let's bend our knees and gently, gently come up chin to chest. And let's do it super slowly today because it is warm. And we don't want to come up too fast because that might upset our circulation and might make us feel dizzy. Lovely. Let's do one final stretch, a nice full body side stretch. So we're going to start with our feet touching. Now we're going to step our right feet across in front of our left leg. Feet are parallel and maybe a foot width between our feet. You can see my feet are a little bit apart. I know this is not ideal with the light behind me. It's sort of like very dark. Anyway, we're going to inhale, bring our right arm up, left arm to our side, and exhale, we're stretching over a bit and maybe sliding that left hand along our left side as if we're trying to sort of touch our toes. Obviously not going to happen, but just reaching down to the floor. Feeling that stretch in our right side body. Okay, inhale and exhale, we're coming out. Lovely, we're stepping that right foot back to where it was. And now the other side, stepping our left foot or left leg in front of the right, trying to have our feet sort of parallel. Nice gap maybe between our feet. If there's a gap, we're a bit more stable. If they're really close, then we'll lose our balance if we stretch. I'm going to inhale the left arm up. Exhale, we're stretching over, sliding that right hand along our side. Feeling the stretch in our obliques going into our hips maybe even. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, we're coming out. Lovely. We're coming to the front of our mat. You can stand in Tadasana, so for that we're going to bring our feet either hip width apart if you find that more comfortable, or feet touching. And we're going to lift all our toes off the mat, spreading them wide, and now we're going to lower them one at a time, starting with the little toe, fourth toe, middle toe, second toe, big toe. Maybe we see a little bit of our mat through our toes. As you know, I quite like to raise my heels and place them down. And for nice firm grounding, we're engaging pelvic floor, our perineum, also engaging our core, nice firm middle, that little tuck in the pelvis where we're pulling our bottom in a little bit. So if I exaggerated here, it's like a dark bum, and then just nice and flat. Don't roll our shoulders up, back and down. By rolling them down, shoulder blades together slightly in the back, we're opening our chest and our palms are automatically facing forward. We're standing tall as if someone's pulling us by a hook in the middle of our head and the crown of our head. Nice and tall, but we're tucking our chin just ever so slightly so we've got a nice flat neck. Standing here, and if you wanted, you could close your eyes for a moment. Feel how that might make you wobble a bit. Feel the movement in your body. And we're going to move really slowly through our Sun Salutations now. And if, as I said, at any point you feel dizzy, if it's hot where you are, you can just take a break, sit down, come into child's pose. Okay. If you closed your eyes, let's blink our eyes open now. With an inhale, we're raising our arms over our head, but I would say let's not look to our hands today. Just look forward. And exhale very, very slowly. We're engaging the core. We're moving super slow. We're bringing our hands either side of the feet, bending the knees here. Inhale again, very slowly. Hands to shins. And we're looking down. Lovely. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the right foot, followed by the left foot. Inhaling and plank. Exhale, we're bringing our knees down. If at any point you don't want to do plank, you can stay in this half plank with your knees to the ground. Inhale, exhale, bringing our chest and our chin down in this 8-point pose where our bottom is up in the air, our elbows are into the body. Inhale, we're sliding into a cobra. We're pointing our toes back. Chest is slightly lifted, working our back muscles. Our elbows are into the body. Shoulders, try to pull them away from the ears. And you're looking forward. Inhale and exhale. We're tucking the toes and we're pushing into our down dog. Maybe stepping our feet in a little bit. As I said, if you don't want to be in down dog, you can come to tabletop, or you could come into sort of a modified down dog, moving your hands slightly forward when you're in a tabletop, pushing through here. And we're not staying in down dog for too long or in our variation. Inhale, exhale. The next inhale, we're stepping our right foot in between our hands, followed by the left, but try to move slowly. Inhale, half forward fold. Staying here for one moment. And exhale, we're bending our knees. We're folding down very gently. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're engaging the core, and very, very slowly, very mindfully, we're coming up. Lovely. Exhale, hands into heart center. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, raising our arms, but we don't want to look to our hands today. So hands either to touch, pulling our shoulder blades down, shoulders away from the ears, or as if you're holding a beach ball, hands shoulder width apart. But if you're doing that shoulder width apart, the fingers are doing yoga. Imagine you're holding that beach ball. Exhale, engaging the core, and really slowly we're coming down for a full forward fold. Inhale, coming into a half forward fold. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot, followed by the right foot in our plank. Inhaling in plank. Exhale, we're bringing our knees down to half plank. Inhale here. Exhale, we're coming down. Chest and chin come to the ground as well. 8-point pose, Ashtangasana. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're sliding forward into our cobra. We're untucking the toes. Elbows are into the body, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades together. We're looking forward. Your chest is lifted, but your bottom ribs will be in touch with the ground. Inhale. And exhale, we're tucking the toes. We're pushing into our downward dog. Maybe stepping the feet in. And staying here or in your variation of down dog, where you're either in tabletop or in down dog on your knees. Whatever feels good to you. Stay for one more breath. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, we're stepping in between our hands with the left foot, followed by the right foot. Inhale, we're coming into half forward fold. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, bending our knees, full forward fold. Inhale, exhale. With the next inhale, we're engaging our core, and slowly, we're coming up. Nice flat back. Lovely, lovely slow movement, guys. Exhale, hands into heart center. Let's add here, but we're still going to be moving really slowly. Okay, lovely. And definitely, if you want to drink, have a drink. If it's warm, and also if it's not warm, drink when you want to drink. Okay, inhale, we're raising our arms up. We're not looking to our hands, just looking straight ahead. Exhale, we're engaging our core, and we're gently folding down. Nice flat back. Exhale, hands either side of the feet, full forward fold. Maybe being able to stretch our legs a little bit more. Inhale, exhale. And with the next inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold. We're going to stay here for one breath as well. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands down, stepping back with the right foot, followed by the left foot. Inhale and plank. Exhale, we're bringing our knees down, half plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chest and chin down, 8-point pose. Inhale, we're sliding forward, cobra. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale and exhale, we're tucking the toes. We're coming into our downward facing dog. Breathing here, stepping in maybe, or coming into your variation of tabletop on knees down, downward dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, we're stepping our right foot in between our hands, and let's stay here for a moment in the slow lunge. If you want, you can bring your back knee, the left knee down, and untuck those toes. But you don't have to, whatever feels good to you today. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, let's bring our hands off the ground, and you can either have them on your thigh if you're in your, well, in either one, if you're in your low lunge, as I am right now. If you want a high lunge, and do that as well. And actually, let's have our hands on our thigh, raising our arms up, works our body more. It's warm, at least where I am. So let's keep our hands down. If you're in a high lunge, pulling your heel back and really activating that back leg, the left leg as well. That is doing yoga. Try not to have it droop too much, but press through that knee. Nice straight leg. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale, we're placing our hands down on the ground again. And exhale, we're stepping the left foot next to our right foot. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins. We're looking down. Exhale. Inhale and exhale, hands down. We're coming into a full forward fold. Inhale, exhale. And inhale, we're engaging our core, and very slowly we're coming up. Exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. One more round of that on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're folding down gently, slowly. I have to remind myself of that as well. Full forward fold, maybe bending the knees. Full hand, the whole palm is in touch with the ground when we're in our full forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, looking down. Pausing here. Another inhale and exhale, hands are coming down. We're stepping back with the left foot, followed by the right foot into our plank. Inhaling and plank. Exhale, knees down. We're staying here for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, chest and chin come down. 8-point pose. Inhale, sliding into cobra. And we're staying here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, we're tucking our toes. We're pushing into a downward dog, or if you want, tabletop or knees down, down dog. Staying here, inhale, exhale. And now, if you're in the modified version, maybe come into your down dog with the knees off the ground, stepping forward, inhale, left foot in between the hands. Staying here for one breath. You can either do it, you can lower your back knee, the right knee now if you want, for a low lunge, or this modified version of lunge, and untucking your toes. We're going to inhale, bring our hands onto our thigh. You can either stay here, or you could be in this high lunge variation. If you're lifting your knee off the ground and tucking your toes, pulling the heel of the back toe back, of the right foot back, and engaging that standing leg. Don't let the knee droop, straight leg. Lovely, everyone. Inhale, exhale. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. I'm placing our hands down. On the exhale, we're bringing our back foot, the right foot forward between the left. Inhale, hands to shins, staying here for a moment. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hands either side of the feet for a full forward fold. And inhale. Exhale. With the next inhale, we're engaging our core and coming up very gently. And exhale, hands into heart center. Stand here for one moment before we get into our next and last Sun Salutation. Catching our breath. Maybe feeling our heartbeat a bit faster even though we're moving relatively slow. Quite nice if you want to place your hands on your heart as well and just feel that heartbeat for a moment. Okay, all right, let's do that one more time with a variation. Inhale, arms up, either hands to touch, shoulders pulling down, or hands apart, holding that imaginary beach volleyball, still pulling our shoulders away from the ears. Lovely. Exhale, engaging the core, coming down slowly. Full forward fold, bending the knees maybe. Inhale, exhale here. And then inhale, straightening those legs. Half forward fold, hands to shins, looking down. Inhale and exhale, placing the hands down. We're stepping back with the right, followed by the left into a plank. Inhaling in plank, and exhale, knees down. Inhale, exhale, chest and chin follow, chest and chin to the ground, bottom in the air. And inhale, sliding forward into our cobra. Belly in touch with the ground, lower ribs in touch with the ground. Lifting the chest, toes untucked, shoulders away from the ears, elbows into the body. We're looking forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We're tucking our toes. We're pushing into a downward dog. Maybe stepping our feet in a little bit, or coming into that variation of down dog with your knees to the ground. Inhale, exhale here. If you're in that variation, let's lift our knees maybe, and we're going to now lift our right leg off the ground into a three-legged dog for one breath. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, we're bringing that right knee forward, right knee behind the right hand, left foot behind the right foot behind the left hand, sorry. Okay, and back knee, left knee coming down, untucking the toes, and we're coming into pigeon. What I like to do here is I like to walk my left foot, the back foot, back a little bit. So for that, my foot will be on, still on the toes, and I'll sort of pull my heel back, my back heel back, by that pulling my knee back a little bit. Then I untuck the toe and maybe do the same thing again. The more you pull that back leg back, the more intense the stretch in your glutes and pigeon is going to be. So do that as much or as little as you want, because you're moving with your own body and how your body feels today. Okay, once you're in a comfortable position, you like how your left leg, the straight leg, is oriented, so to speak. Let's stay here on our hands for a moment. Breathing here. Okay, and if you want, you could come onto your forearms here as well. Don't have to, you can stay on your hands. If you're coming onto your forearms, you can clasp your hands, you can have the palms onto the ground, whatever you enjoy doing. And pulling your left hip forward a little bit. Or just experiment a little bit with how you move your hips and where you feel that stretch more. If you pull your left hip forward, if your left hip sinks too much towards your left foot, does that change the stretch? Do you not feel it? These things are very individual. Okay, if you were on your forearms, let's come back onto our hands, one hand at a time, very nice and controlled. Tucking our left foot, lifting the left knee, pushing back into a down dog, and let's gently, gently, gently walk our feet to our hands now. Behind, feet hip width apart, behind our hands, about foot length or foot width between the hands and the feet. Bending the knees now like crazy so that our belly and our chest are in touch with the mat, with the thighs, tucking our chin to our chest, and let's gently roll up here. Slowly, slowly. The chin is the last thing to lift. Lovely. Okay, stepping back to the front of our mat for Tadasana. Feet together, maybe lifting our toes, lowering them down. Standing nice and tall, engaging our perineum, pelvic floor, abdomen, shoulders up, back and down. Last Sun Salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're folding down. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, hands down, stepping back with the left, followed by the right into a plank. Inhaling in plank, exhale, knees down. And we're staying here. Inhale, exhale, chest and chin down into 8-point pose. Inhale, we're sliding into cobra, untucking the toes, lifting our chest off the ground. We're looking forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, we're tucking our toes, pushing into down dog, or coming into your variation, either tabletop or knees down, down dog. Breathing here. Okay, if you're on your knees coming into a full down dog, lifting your knees, and inhale, we're lifting our left foot off the ground into a 3-legged dog. Exhale and inhale, bringing our left knee behind the left hand, the foot behind the right hand. Coming down onto the knee of the right leg, the leg behind us. And if you want, again, maybe walking that right foot back a little bit to intensify that stretch. And as I forgot to say earlier, the more parallel your shin in pigeon is to the front of your mat, the more intense that stretch is going to be. So if you're finding that excruciating, just bring that foot closer to your hips, and that will make it easier. Just moving with what feels good to you. Let's stay here on our hands for a few breaths. If you want, you can come onto your forearms now. Again, clasping your hands, interlacing your fingers, or palms to the ground, or stay on your hands. I'm going to stay here for a bit longer. And again, let's experiment here with how we move our hips. Hips closer to the foot, right hip closer to the left foot. And what does that do? Just pulling the left hip back a little bit, maybe. Just wiggling around here. Okay, let's come back to our hands. So placing the left hand on the mat first, then lifting up right hand on the mat. Going to tuck our right foot, pushing back, coming back into a down dog, and gently walk our feet behind our hands here. Feet hip width apart, and let's hang here for one moment. Maybe with the hands to the ground. And now let's bend our knees, thighs are in contact with belly and chest, tucking the chin. We're rolling up ever so slowly. And lifting our chin off the chest last. Standing nice and tall. Lovely. Okay, we're going to do our balance. Our balance today is tree, Vriksasana, so nice, gentle balance. And we're going to do 3 stages here, which I think is always quite nice. So we're going to start standing on the left. So let's lift the toes on our left foot, place them down nice and wide, maybe lifting the heels. We're standing nice and we're nice and firmly grounded. And for the first version of tree, we're going to have our toes of the right foot on the ground and the heel of the right foot just above the left ankle. So we are in touch with the ground with both feet. Bring our hands to heart center, and let's close our eyes here for a moment. You might feel a bit of a wobble. You would think that we're standing, we've got both feet on the ground, this is not much of a challenge, but actually it is, and this is still really nice balance. So if this is the version you want to do today, do this version today. Don't feel like you're not balancing. Opening our eyes. Great. If you want for the next step, bring the sole of your right foot against the calf of the left and stand here. This is also lovely balance, more makes us more wobbly now because the foot is not in touch with the ground. And if you fall out, that's totally fine. What helps is trying to find a spot either on the floor or on the wall in front of you that won't move. Trouble is when you're trying to look at yourself and then you wobble and now you fall. Great. Okay, and if you want to go further, you could take that right shin into your right hand and try to place that right foot against the inner thigh. That's going to work our body quite a bit, so if you don't feel that is right for you today, then that's fine. Let's do this here for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, let's release, come out. Let's shake that standing foot. Lovely. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to place we're standing on the right now, so let's lift all our toes on the right foot, lowering them down one at a time, maybe lifting the heel, nice firm grounding. Let's start with the left toes on the ground, left heel just above the right ankle. Hands in heart center. If you want, let's close your eyes. If you ever feel like a balance is not challenging for you anymore, just try to close your eyes and I'm sure it will be challenging. Focusing on your breath maybe with your closed eyes. Okay, let's open our eyes here. Let's try and bring that left foot against the right calf. If you can't do that or don't want to do that, that's fine. Just stay where we just were. Just staying here, working us a little bit more. And it's always maybe trying to notice how one side of your body feels different to the other side of the body. We're standing on the right. If you're right-handed, that might be a lot more stable. Okay, and if you want to go a bit further, taking your left foot or a shin into the left hand, trying to place that left foot against the inner thigh of the right. Getting into the balance is always the hardest. Okay, and now finding that spot on the floor or on the wall that doesn't move and standing here for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, let's let go, bring that left foot on the ground, shake that right foot off. Lovely. It's a bit like when you fly, like what they say with planes. It's the takeoff and landing are the most dangerous. It's a bit the same with the balance. Getting in and out of it is always the most wobbly. Okay, let's get to the front of our mat. We're going to move through one final sort of flow to get to the floor. Okay. So, standing here, feet together, hip width apart, setting ourselves up for Tadasana, spreading our toes, maybe lifting our heels, tucking our pelvis, perineum, gauging our core, rolling our shoulders up, back and down, opening our chest, looking up, standing nice and tall, tucking that chin. Inhale, we're lifting our arms, not looking up. Exhale, we gently fold down. Inhale here. Exhale, inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold. Exhale, inhale, exhale, hands down, step back with whichever foot you want. It's the last time we're doing this. Inhale, exhale, coming onto our knees. Inhale, exhale, coming down, chest and chin as well. Inhale, cobra. Sliding forward, untucking those toes, elbows into the body, shoulder blades together. Exhale. Inhale and exhale, we're tucking the toes. We're coming into a downward dog. Let's all do our downward dog together. Inhale, let's raise our right leg. Exhale, right knee behind right hand, foot behind the left hand. We're coming into one more pigeon, lowering the left knee down. Maybe walking that foot back a little bit to bring that left leg, make that longer. Lovely. Okay, stay here with our hands on the ground for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Already maybe feeling that stretch in our right glutes. Inhale, exhale. If you want, coming onto your forearms. Breathing here. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And now if you want, you could also bring your forehead and maybe your chest to the ground, but you don't have to. You can stay either forearms on the ground or hands on the ground. So if you want to bring your chest to the ground, maybe chest onto your right shin, right calf, and you could also make a pillow out of your hands. So put your hands on top of each other and place your forehead on your hands. And breathing here. Or you could also bring your cheek to the ground if that is something that is available to you. And again, experiment with how to pull your hips in order to really feel that stretch in your glute. Really nice, everyone. Breathing here. Okay, if you came down onto your chest, let's now gently come onto forearms. And from forearms, coming onto one hand first, then the other. And we're going to flop to our right glutes. We're going to cartwheel our left foot forward, or swing our left foot forward. So we're now in this figure 4 leg tree in standing. We've got the sole of our right foot against the inner thigh of the left. And we're coming here. You could use your belt if you wanted, but I think we'll maybe do it without it, but I'll show you the option with the belt. So this is Vriksasana, head to knee pose. The front foot, the left foot is engaged, so the toes are tucked, pointing to the ceiling. Foot is flexed. We're going to do that little micro twist that I talk about when we do this. So if you just sit here relaxed, you'll notice that your chest is pointing between your legs. But what we want is we want our chest to face the foot of the straight leg. Because if you want to use the belt, bring the belt around the ball of the foot, holding it on either side. Inhale and fold here. Or you can just grab your calf. And I think today we're not going to try and fall too deep at all. It is hot. Just hold our calf or our belt, depending where we are. Just stay here. Breathing here. Trying not to drop our head today. And breathing here. In and out through the nose. Okay, let's come up to seated, gently coming up. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring that left foot in. We're going to come into a cobbler pose. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet to touch. You can do that wherever we want. So if you want your feet a bit further away from your body, that is totally fine. If you want your feet a little closer to your groin, that's also great. And let's just sit here. We're going to place our hands around our feet, so the fingers are along the back of the foot, the thumbs are on the ball of the foot, and we're opening our feet, if we can, like the pages of a book. And just to sort of reiterate, if you've got the soles of your feet really pressed against each other like that, you'll notice that your hips can't really open that much, like your knees will come off the ground. Whereas if you're opening your feet like the pages of a book, your knees can come closer to the ground and you're opening your hip joints a little more. Let's just sit here nice and tall. Maybe looking to the floor, just a little bit in front of your feet, about half a meter in front of your feet maybe. Or you could also close your eyes. And even here, we're pulling the shoulders away from the ears, we're opening our chest, shoulder blades slightly together, rather than rounding the back, sitting nice and tall. Okay, let's open our eyes if we close them. And now I'm going to just come into a cross-legged, placing our hands in front of us. We're stepping back into a plank, and from plank pushing into down dog to do the same thing on the other side. So we're lifting our left leg up now. We're bending our left knee, bringing the left knee behind the left hand, the left foot behind the right hand, lowering the knee of the right leg, and we're, if you want, walking that right leg back a little bit. And we can stay here. Let's stay for 2 breaths in on our hands. Breathing in and out through the nose. And again, if you find this too intense, you can just bring your shin a bit closer to you, or your foot closer to your hip of that front leg. Okay, let's come on to our forearms now. If you want, you could also stay on your hands. Hands either palms to the ground or hands interlaced, whatever feels good to you. And you can change that from what you did earlier or on the other side. Those little changes can be quite nice. Okay, and if you want to, you can now come onto your chest or lower down even further. And as I said, for that, you could bring your hands on top of each other as a pillow, or you can have them out in front of you. Maybe come onto your cheek if that is available. Just do what you want. And here again, experiment with how that stretch feels when you bring your right hip in touch with the left foot, or when you pull that left hip back a little more. I personally find that if you flop too far onto the right, so that the right hip is down quite a lot, that might take a little bit of the intensity out. So really experiment here, just moving around. We're here for another 2 breaths, so you can do what feels good to you. Okay, we're going to come up. So inhale, we're going to come onto our forearms first. Exhale, and now let's come onto our hands, one hand at a time. And now let's flop onto our left glutes and bring that right leg out in front of us for Vriksasana on the other side. Here again, if you want to use your belt, you can bring that around the ball of your foot. The foot is against the inner thigh, the left foot is against the inner thigh of the right, or if you find that a bit too much, you could have the foot against the calf, but you wouldn't want to have it against the knee. The knee's delicate, so you don't want to put any pressure on that. Again, that little micro twist, instead of having our chest face between our legs, we're moving our chest to face that front foot, the flexed right foot, toes to ceiling. If you're using a belt, hold it in both hands and pull, or just holding our calf and breathing here. No need to go too deep today. Your drishti, your focus point, the place that you're looking at, is your front, the big toe of the straight leg of the right foot. Okay, inhale, coming up, and exhale, just sitting here. And instead of coming back into our cobbler, we're going to stretch our left leg out as well now. So we're coming into our seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So both legs are stretched out, both feet are flexed, toes pointing to the ceiling. And again, you could use your belt, bringing that around the balls of both feet. Sitting up nice and tall. Or you can just bring your hands onto your thighs, your calves, or even your ankles. And inhale, we're sitting nice and tall. Exhale, we're falling from the hip. We're keeping our back straight. So we don't want to fold round our backs, and by rounding our backs be able to reach our feet. And we want to be really flat in the back. It's a bit like a jackknife, pocket knife, folding. We're staying really straight. So hold wherever you can hold, your calves, your ankles, wherever. And staying here for a few breaths, really nice. Okay. Inhale, we're coming up. Lovely. We won't need our belt anymore, so you can place that to the side. And we're going to come onto the ground now, lying on our backs. And here, if you have your block handy or your massive book, place that to the side for our supported bridge in a second. So, we're going to place our feet hip width apart, soles of the feet to the ground. We're going to place our, bend our knees already, and we're going to gently place our hands behind our thighs, and we're going to come down really, really gently, really controlled, not just plonking down if we can. Oh gosh. Great. Okay, we're lying on our backs, and let's bring our feet closer to our glutes. Maybe if we try to reach, we could just gently stroke our heels with our fingers. But if we can't, that's also okay. We're going to now lift our hips off the ground and push that book or that block that we had under our glutes, under the sacrum, the sort of bony bit of the between lower back and bum. We're just going to lie here. You can place your hands on your belly. So this is a supported bridge. We're using the block as a support, or the book as a support. You could also stack two books on top of each other if you wanted to be a bit higher, but this is lovely. We're just staying here, closing the eyes maybe. We're slowing down. Breathing in and out through the nose, relaxing our forehead, relaxing our face. Closed your eyes, let's open them again gently. And with the next inhale, we're pushing into our feet, we're lifting our glutes off our block, off our book. We're pushing that proper way, lowering our glutes to the ground. Done with that block now as well, or our book, so pushing that out of way. And we're going to bring our knees to our chest and gently rock from side to side, massaging our lower back. And with the next one, we're going to drop our knees to the right and stretching our arms out in a capital T. And for that, maybe if your book or your block is in the way, push it away. Just having a look at your chest and our capital T. And the closer your elbows are, your knees are to your elbow, to your arm, the more intense that twist is going to be. So if you don't like it too intense today, you can move it a bit away from your the knees away from your arm. If you've got stuff around you, so you can't have your arms at a capital T, you can also have them as cactus arms, bending your arms at the elbow. And what you also want to try to do is have your both shoulders somewhat in contact with the ground, so also the left shoulder in this twist. And we're looking towards the left, so the opposite direction of where our legs are fallen. Breathing here, closing the eyes if you want. Okay, bringing our head back to center and bring our knees to center. Now dropping the knees to the left. Arms still at capital T or in cactus arms. Having a look to the both sides. If our arms are still not set up the right way because we moved our legs, we might have moved our whole body. Again, the further your knees are, the closer your knees are towards your elbows, towards the arm, the more intense that twist is going to be. And we want both shoulders somewhat in contact with the ground, looking over to the opposite side, so the legs are to the left, we're looking to the right, palms are facing up, and if you want, closing your eyes. Breathing slowly, in and out through the nose, your natural rhythm of breath. Okay, the next inhale, we're bringing our head into center, bring our knees to center, legs in, tuck our knees into our body one more time. And now we're going to come to our final relaxation. That can be Shavasana with our legs out, feet hip to mat width apart, arms alongside your body, palms facing up. If you wanted, if you prefer today to sit cross-legged because it's quite warm and you're worried that you'll just doze off, feel you need to be a bit more active, you could sit. You could also bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to the ground for slightly more active lying down rest. Or you could come to child's pose where we started. It's really up to you. Just close our eyes wherever we are, relaxing our body. Relaxing our face particularly. Relaxing the forehead. No tension, not holding anything. Relaxing the muscles around our eyes. Not squinting, trying to read, trying to see. Relax those eyes, the eyeballs. Relaxing the muscles around the nose as well. The upper lip. Relaxing our jaw. Any tension that is there, slightly parting those teeth. Tongue lying in the mouth. If it feels good, you could also wiggle your jaw from side to side to fully relax it. Your lips can be apart. Try to breathe in and out of your nose. Relaxing muscles around the skull, top of the head. The muscles in our ears, relaxing the whole face, the whole head. And just staying here in stillness, trying not to fidget for a few moments. gently, gently bring awareness back into your body. Maybe let's move fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Bring your feet together if you like, Vriksasana, or on your back, arms overhead. It's a full body stretch. And hugging your knees into your chest and rolling onto the right. Using your upper arm as a pillow. Left hand in front of your face. Inhale and exhale, let's gently press into that hand. Counter seated. One last thing that I would like to do is a cooling breath, Shitali, a pranayama. So for that, you can sit however you want. Quite nice way of sitting is using that block that we had at the beginning and either sitting on that, you're cross-legged, or you could also bring that between your legs and just sit on a sort of modified hero pose. Just sitting like that, whatever is comfortable to you. And for that, I'm actually going to come a bit closer. I'm going to move that to you. Okay, so we're going to sit. And the reason why I want to come closer is show you. So what we do is you make a straw with your tongue. If you can, some people can't roll their tongue. Perfect. And if you can't do that, for whatever reason, you can just bring your tongue between your lips. So there's a little bit of space between your upper lip and your tongue. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale through our tongue like a straw. And we're going to hold our breath briefly at the top, and then we're going to gently exhale. And you'll see, hopefully, that by breathing in through your tongue, it's quite cooling. And that's quite nice after on a really hot day, or if you come back after a long run or something. It's also, and any pranayama really is a really nice way of connecting to your body, slowing down. Yeah, so let's try this together. We're going to roll our tongue into a straw, and we're going to inhale. It's difficult to talk and do it. Inhale. Hold. We're pulling our tongue in now, and then exhale through the nose, very mindfully. So one more time, and I'll count you through. So we're going to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to pull your tongue in, hold for 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's inhale again for 4, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to hold for 1. Now exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do it again. We're going to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1. Pulling our tongue in, and we're exhaling through the nose. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now let's do 1 in our own time. Maybe try to count yourself. 4 on the inhale, 1 hold, 6 on the exhale. Let's do 3 rounds like that by ourselves, okay? Pulling your tongue in when you hold, and exhaling through the nose. One more round. Okay, let's just open our eyes if you close them. Hope that was fun, a little playful pranayama there. And let's bring our hands into heart center. Bring our thumbs to our third eye for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat for clear and kind words. And thumbs to our heart for clear and kind feelings for others and for ourselves. If you want, let's bow with the gratitude to the practice of yoga and gratitude to ourselves for moving today. Thank you so much for being here with me, and